a podcast by Shy Soul. She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned. Podcast by Shy Soul. She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned.
Hello, hello, hello. It's Shy here. This is the first ad of the show. The book is The Mary B. Chronicles, Book 1, The Long Way Around. It is available on Amazon and is by author Carletta. Yes, the most impetuous author goes by Dakira. Yes. Her book is available on Amazon. Yes, it's a book too. Yes, it's a series. And yes, you should be getting it. Again, the book is The Mary B. Chronicles, Book 1, The Long Way Around. Be sure to check that out. Be sure to click the link when I drop it in the chat. Remember what I said. The book is called The Mary B. Chronicles. It is a 5-star across the board read. Won't miss out on it. This is your daily ad for tonight's show. We'll be back with our regular scheduled program. Back to the music.
License this instrumental only at jaredbeats.com.
Hi guys, I'm back. We are here with a best-selling author. Her name is Perceptual Plazz. She goes by Plazz. She is a wonderful writer. She has her own trailer for her book. We're going to get all into that tonight. Ask her a few questions about what it's like being an author. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm actually out here and enjoying some fresh air. I'm outside, so if you hear any cars firing like that, let me know. I'll put it on mute.
Okay.
Run inside, perhaps.
Okay, that's great to hear. Now, this has been a long-waited interview for like the past couple of weeks. Like, I'm sorry if you guys have been waiting to hear her and her talk about her books, but you know, when you have little technical issues, you know, you have to handle that. But we're here now, so we'll get into everything you guys want to know about her book and therefore and thereon. Sure. So my first question is, everybody wants to know this. What made you want to be an author in the first place?
Well, honestly, I have been writing my whole life, whether it's been articles or in my diary or poetry. I mean, I feel like as a little girl, most of us write in our diary. But I just really noticed that I had a talent or a passion for writing the older I got and the more I experienced things in life. The first thing that I wanted to do was run and, you know, go write. So I probably didn't know I wanted to become an author until after my third encounter with almost losing my life. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I decided to cope with it, because some of the things were kind of painful to talk about. So it was easier for me to write about them. And somebody honestly just kept bringing up to me, you should write a book about it. So here I am today.
That is, I might say, that is very beautiful. That's a story that a lot of your readers will probably be able to, well, not probably, but will mostly be able to connect with, because, you know, when an author has a background like that just puts so much emotion into what they write. I applaud you for that. That is something. That's really something.
Thank you very much, exactly. So my emotions are definitely tied into the legal perseverance is my power. And like I said, you know, that was my main reason for being an author, is because I almost died 3 times, and I'm 24 years old. And I feel like a lot of people in my generation, I feel like we kind of give up on things a little easier than we should, right? And so I want to display in my book that, hey, if I almost died 3 times, and I was raised by a single mother, you know, some of you who have both your parents or have all these opportunities laid out in front of you, and you make up a lot of excuses. You know, you don't have an excuse. You can do this. If I made it, you can make it.
Exactly. Now, this is something new. You guys, I did not know this at all. You know, this is surprising to me. I love when I interview an author and I learn new things about them. That just makes me know that what I read, and yes, I have read your book. I took my time to read your book to, you know, ask certain questions, anything like that. But, you know, knowing that just enlightens me even more about you as an author. It really does. That's very, very intriguing. Now, for you to write this book about, you know, your experiences, was it kind of hard, or was it easy? You know, did it make you cry? Like, what was your feelings writing this story?
That's like a loaded question.
Yeah, we can break it down.
Yeah, and that's only because, I mean, the book is about overcoming triumph. And okay, so there's a sadness to the story, but there's also a happiness and victory to the story. So, of course, when I was writing it, I felt those things, but because these things actually happened to me, it was a little bit surreal for me. I'm not gonna lie. When I wrote some of this stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I overcame that, or, you know what I mean? So, for me, mainly it was chapter 5. Chapter 5, I don't want to get into it like too much, because I do want people to, of course, get the book and read it themselves, but
yes,
chapter
of course.
5 is I cried a few times writing that chapter. And, you know, it's still something that impacts me till this day. My first encounter with death was when I was 9. And that's when you'll learn about me in that chapter. It was in a horrible car accident. And it was just hard for me to recuperate and understand
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no. Yeah, chapter 10. Chapter 10. So that one as well, I was battling with some, healing issues after my surgery, and, I felt like I'm never going to get out of this, so there's always something.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when I was writing that part, I just got upset kind of all over again, like, oh my gosh, like, that was so hard for me to get through, and I had so much going on at that time. So I definitely did feel a lot of emotions. That's why I feel some loaded questions, because it was like sad, it was like happy, it was confused, everything just, I felt a lot of things.
Yes, I would, my point of view, would I, as an author, would I be able to write something like that about myself? I don't really think so, because I'm a very, very emotional person, especially when it comes to writing. So, as a writer, you use it as very therapeutical, to help you cope with certain things.
Exactly.
But me, I would probably just be like, I can't do it. I just can't relive that. That's the type of emotional writer I am. And certain people can tell that when they read my stories. Like, they'd be like, you have that different feel to it. And that's exactly how I felt when I read your book. I'm going to be honest. I did get teary-eyed. I really did. I personally, I did. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when did, if you remember, when in the book did it hit you the most? Like, when did you actually start, like, getting teary-eyed? Because the people who have read my book always say, for them, it's either around chapter 5 or towards the end.
Yes,
so
same for me.
Yeah.
Because
that was definitely. Go ahead.
I'm kind of like, going back. So that's why I paused, because that chapter and then towards the end, I felt it. It's like, I'm like, wow, I'm getting goosebumps, and I can picture it. I could just picture everything you went through in that moment. And then towards the end, I was like, this woman has I was like, I need to put down a book. But then again, I was like, I don't want to put it down because I want to, finish this chapter. I was like, I can't finish this chapter until I feel as if, like, oh my God. That's what I kept saying when I was reading it. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, how could she have relived this moment writing this? And then that's when I got teary-eyed, because I was like, wow. She really pushed herself to, go above and beyond, to be like, I've gotten over it. I've overcome it. I can write about it. I can, express these feelings to people who may have went through it, or family members, or, and I was like, wow, this is a beautiful writer.
Thank you for that, because honestly, sometimes it really was hard for me, like I said, to relive some of it, and God has definitely helped me along the way with it. I mean, I feel like once you overcome something, that's your testimony, and that's your job.
Mm-hmm.
To use that testimony that you have to help others, and to, I mean, you went through it for a reason, and there's someone out there that's probably suffering from the same stuff that I overcame. So why not, give them insight on how I overcame it? That's basically what this book is all about. Perseverance is my power.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I don't know if we can hear this dog.
Briefly, if you want to take a pause, we can definitely do that.
No, you're good. No.
Okay. Now, my next question is, how long did it take you to write this book?
Okay, so don't laugh. Because most authors, finish their books, really fast. But I was a full-time college athlete and student.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me a matter of probably 2.5 of course. Towards the end, I felt like I sat down a little bit more and got, more serious about it. At first, like you mentioned, it was a therapeutic thing. And then as I got, towards the middle of the book, I was like, I'm going to publish this book. So then that kind of put some fire into me to get it finished. So, yeah, it took me a little longer.
Yeah, and I would never laugh at that because it takes me quite a while to finish my stories too, and I expressed that to my publisher. I said I'm not the type of author who can finish a book in a month or a couple of weeks. I can't do that. It'll take me almost a year or two to finish a story, which I have. It took me almost a year and a half to 2 to finish a 95K book. And I finally sent that to her like not even a couple of weeks ago. So, when certain authors be like, it only takes me this amount of time, I can feel that because, it depends on, their story and did they outline it, and I can't. I like to put a lot of thought and, time and a lot of effort.
And everybody's like process and way of doing things is totally different. That's honestly anything in life, not just writing, but those of you that are maybe listening that are authors, if you guys finish your books in a month or 2 months, my hat goes off to you. But I don't think that's something necessarily that I can do unless it's, I don't know, I have to be really going through something and want it out at that time. So, I'm typically someone who does an outline before, I start my book, and I follow my outline, and I will look at a time frame when I want it completed, and just kind of work from there. I don't really set a date yet or set a month yet. I just kind of say, okay, maybe I can finish this around, next fall, or something like that. So.
Yes, that is completely me. Well, a part of, I don't write an outline for my book. I free write. I do my character development and, I jot down my plot, a couple of notes. But other than that, I completely free write. But it still takes me quite a while to finish my story. So.
Yeah.
So,
that's totally fine. We are all different.
Yes. So, my next question is, will you have any more stories coming out?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little.
I had said, will you have any more stories coming out?
Yes, I'm actually writing a book right now. I just finished my outline on that, so I've got a couple chapters written up on that, but
that's great. And like we just was talking about, we know we're gonna be, quite a while before you drop that, and I can't wait to read it. I know that much.
Thank you. I'm very excited for this next book. I will make announcement a little later on what it's about, but right now it's a surprise background.
Yes, I can't wait. I love surprises. Now, do you view your writing or any other kind of writing as a kind of spiritual practice?
So, I do actually. I'm not extremely religious. I do see myself as a Christian, but of course there are things that I personally need to work on or perfecting God. But I definitely do see my book as that, especially because my last encounter dead, I was questioning God's existence. I was questioning why I was going through the things that I was going through. I felt like he had forsaken me, and I didn't understand. I was trying to do everything right, and I just felt like something's always happening, And there was a point in my book and in my life where I said, you know what, if things are not going to work out the way I want to do, you know, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do it. It was very, very, very serious and very emotional for me, and that was around my third encounter with death. So I just feel like from that moment on, okay, so there's
JerdBeats.com.
I had just woken up, and you know, I just come out of surgery. My grandfather was asleep, and he was on the couch, and he was like knocked out. I mean, like drooling, right? He was not waking up, and this was in the hospital. And so, you know, there's the TV's on, and I think it was 500 Club, the Christian TV show, and you know, there was someone on the TV, and they were saying, God, there's someone out there that just went through surgery, and there's, you know, you're hearing me right now. You think God's forsaking you, and he's telling me to tell you that he's been there, he's watching, and that freaked me out. So it's the first thing I'm like, am I hallucinating? Am I still super sedated? I mean, what is going on? I know I just came out of surgery, but I feel like he really is talking to me. He is talking to me right now. And so he's like, yes, you hear me? God is telling me to tell you, take out your IDs and this, do that. And so I was listening to the TV. I took out my IDs. You know, I did everything the TV said, and I literally dropped out of the bed and onto my knees, and I accepted God into my life. That moment. So from there on, I really knew God is here for me. God has seen me this whole time. God has been with me, and that was my moment to have that. So, I mean, everybody has their epiphanies or their own moments with God when He really shows them that He's there. But that was definitely mine. And so, hopefully, when somebody reads it, they can kind of connect with it. Maybe they've had that, or maybe they haven't. But at least they know, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one that feels like, you know, my life should be better.
That is for anyone who is listening to this, that should be able to connect with a few of you, because I know that connected with me, you know, because it was a point with my writing and a point in my life. You know, I'm young too. I'm only 22, and I'm in college, so I balance that with work and all that. So, you know, I was going through stuff when I was a teen, and, you know, writing. So writing was very therapeutic for me as well. And it was just a point where I was like, do I really want to do all this? Who wants to read my stories? Do I really have a story to tell? You know, and I was just getting all very caught up in it and just kind of slightly getting in the depression stage. So I said, you know what? Let me just take a step back and evaluate everything that I'm going through. And then that's when everything hit me. You know, I'm a very spiritual person as well. So, you know, I just had to just take a step back and just try to go about it the right way. So when I did that and came back to my writing, I was like, I can definitely do this, because I do have a voice. I do have things that I can say, and people my age and above that I can connect with that will be able to relate to this. So, you know, I said I may not have lived any life that I write about, but I know it's other people that have, and I can definitely help in some way.
That's exactly what is probably more inspiring for us authors, that knowing that there's someone out there that could potentially live a better life reading our books. I think that's what inspires most of us. Definitely. And that's so cool. That's so cool that you're 22 and you're in college, and because I connect with you there. Like I said, I was writing this book when I was a full-time student athlete, and I'm 24.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that we're here writing these books and keeping ourselves grounded with writing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it's so many people that I went to school with, because it was at a point where I didn't tell anybody, I was writing books and, because I didn't really feel as if it was serious at that time. So, when they found out now, when it's so passionate, it's always been passionate, but it was just a hobby, so now when it's my job and I love it and I'm just so into it, everybody comes out of the woodwork and just out of nowhere like, you're a writer? When did you start writing? When was this? Like, I've known you for this long and really? You a writer? I'm like, yeah. What's so big deal about that? Oh, what? Oh, writing is so boring. When they say that, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stop talking to you. Mm-hmm. Because it's not boring. Exactly. It may be boring to you, but it's not boring to me because I'm such an imaginative person with a creative mind. And the crazy thing is, some people find that being an author or a writer is boring and it doesn't make you money or this, that. What's the negativity about? I'm out here doing what I love. What are you doing?
Right. And you know what? There were some people who weren't really believing in it, or they were just like, oh, well, you're going into a tough market and you're going into, and it's like, you know what? While I know that it's going to be tough, but that I'm not writing these books for them to, I'm not expecting to just blow up and be the next Michelle Obama. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if my book just touches whoever reads it, that's all I want. If I become a millionaire along the way, awesome. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to stop writing for anything. So money is not really an issue when it comes to that, because if you push your book, if you really dedicate all your time and energy into pushing your book, you will make money. You put all your eggs in that basket and you will be successful. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're juggling life, and then you come home and you write, you may not turn around and be a millionaire the next day, and you know that, but that's not why you do it.
Exactly. That's how I perceived it too. I'm like, I'm not in this for the money, the royalties, anything like that. I'm in it because I love writing. For a long time when I was writing, my books were free. All my stories were free. I did not care if I got paid or anything like that. It just wasn't a big deal to me. My dad, he was like, you have been doing this for a while. He said, I already know how you are. You're a very charismatic, very caring person. But he said, isn't it time for you to, grow up a little bit in what you're doing? And, it's time for you to really get the spotlight and for you to, make some profit. You may not care or may care, but it's time for you to make some profit off something that you love. It's people out there that will buy your work. And for the longest, I was like, I don't know if they will buy my stuff. Like, will they really buy my work and be really into me and their favorite author or whatever? He was like, just go ahead and do it. And when I did it, I didn't realize that those same people who were reading my books for free were still here to even buy it and still read my stories.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's the crazy part.
That's just something that should connect with you, that somebody is out there reading these stories. And every time, I really go in and, please who follows me on Facebook or somebody new on Instagram or whatever. My social media platforms are growing every day, but you never know whose life you can impact with what you post or what you write.
Definitely.
Like you said, you told, you didn't even charge really for your book at first. And that just really shows that you have passion for it.
Sure.
That wasn't just an incident behind writing for you.
And at that time, I was right. I'm as more dedicated as I was before. I would finish my book in a year, put it out, and then the sequel, give myself, because I already knew how the book was going to go for from the first book, and I'm like, okay, I got this. I set my schedule, got my homework done, and then hit my iPad and them keys, and was on chapter 1, 2, 3 every Friday. That was my routine. I said, I'm gonna set me a routine, to get into the flow of me writing this book, because when I'm in a book into my story, I'm gonna be like, okay, every Friday, I don't care. If somebody want to go out to the movies with me, no, I'm gonna be writing. I don't care. If anybody want to do anything fun,
That's really good that you're dedicated to that. And I think for me as well, after I wrote this first book, now I know what to expect. So I can hit the ground running. I've learned majority of what I needed to know this first time around. And so this next book is going to be a lot smoother for me, because I'm going to need to know. I already know, hey, it's going to cost, $500 or $600 to get accredited, or I'm going to need an interior designer, or I'm going to need to contact Amazon, or whoever I'm selling the book through. So I definitely agree with you. Learn that next book, your schedule and the way you need to do things.
exactly. And I made sure before I even went looking for a publisher, or a publisher came looking for me, either way it went, I made sure to learn this industry. Whatever category I was going to be in, I made sure to do my research, because I didn't want to get caught up in anything. So I was going to know every bit and piece of what I was getting into, because the writing industry could be something crazy as well. So, I did all the research.
Yeah.
I just prepared myself.
And
So,
things are definitely, there's a lot of people out there taking other people's work and, just taking other cover ideas, things like that. So we have to be careful of what we post if it's not copywritten. So I go above and beyond having all those things copywritten and stating that you're not able to use my things, and if I find out you do, stuff like that. So I think my major thing that I had to learn with this first book is probably the interior design. So once I got my cover done, I got my edits back from my editor, and I was pretty much ready to go. I had my ISBNs ready. I was ready to go, right? And it was then that we noticed that we wanted to get some work done in the interior designing of my book, because it was too simple. And so, it's still kind of simple, but it had an element to it. So now I know, hey, when you get the cover finished, you need to already be looking for interior designers, if not have one. You know what I'm saying? Just learn your schedule.
Exactly. And even when I was writing my books back then myself, I was editing my books myself, and I was making the covers myself too. So I am a author and I'm a graphic designer. I always loved graphic designing. In high school, that was my class every year was graphic design or art. So I already knew what to do with that part of it. That wasn't hard for me. I was already A+ student in English. That wasn't hard for me. So everything with that came natural to me. So now I applied that to my business, and now I'm involving with my business. So when a customer comes to me, they're like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna get a book cover." I'll be like, before you go, I do this, this, this. And then they're like, huh? You do all that? I'm like, yeah, I do all of that. I'm like, wow, usually I have to go to this different editor and book cover designer.
5 different people.
And they're like, you do everything? I'm like, well, not everything, but I do all of this. They're like, oh my God, I'm going to just come to you for everything. And, as a college student, I'm like, it's a lot of young people who do write that I know. So why not have the prices reasonable too? Because, as a college student, you can't really buy everything. You got to be kind of reasonable.
College students and authors, I bet that's something definitely that you learn too, is budgeting with stuff like this, and then making sure that when you hire an editor or interior designer, cover designer, whatever, that they fall within your budget. That was another thing writing this first book. I just had unexpected expenses just pop up. You know what I mean? And so that kind of set me back at some point. And so I had to, step back and then wait till I had the funding to do it, or go around it somehow until that obstacle was out of the way. But you definitely learn budgeting with this process too. So we are small.
Exactly. And a lot of people, they was like, well, you got a publisher. They was like, you know how to do all this stuff yourself. Why don't you just self-publish? I said, because one, I'm in college. I'm in college, and, I do need my cash for my books, or I need to do this and that for my business. So it goes either way. So I said a publisher was the best route for me to go. I love my publisher, and she understands everything that I do. So, yeah, and they was like, but you know how to make the book covers yourself. So why would you? I was like, yes, I do. And believe me, I asked my publisher if I could do book covers myself. She was like, I have. I was like, yeah, I understand. So I just let it go. I still design covers for everybody else. There will be a point where, I'll be doing stuff myself. But as of right now, I'm going to have a publisher to help me with all that. And I learned more along the way. So it really helped me with everything I already knew. Now, as a writer, what advice would you give to an author who is now coming into all of this industry stuff that we do?
So, I would first start off with not go into it for the money. Go with passion. Remember how writing makes you feel, regardless if you wake up tomorrow as a bestseller or if you don't. Continue to write no matter what. I would also say that, you need to learn to drown out some of the negative or discouraging comments and feelings that you might feel along the way. Because it is hard. It is hard. It's not easy. It's not an easy process. I know sometimes it may look like anybody can publish a book, but if there's a lot that goes into it, and you want your book to sell at the end of the day. So just definitely make sure you're encouraged, and whoever's around you is encouraging. And if they say anything negative, you just have to learn to just not be discouraged from that stuff. So that's my main advice for writers coming into it.
I love it, because I would say the same thing. Now,
yeah, that's a major thing for all of us, I think so.
So, what is your daily, as an author, what is your daily routine like when it comes to, writing your next story? Do you have some tea, some coffee? What's the ambiance? What's the feel that you have for yourself when you want to write?
Okay, I get what you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
So, my routine is something like when I come home from work, my creativity as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
I usually write two things for my website each week. So I'll either write an article or a poem and publish that on my website. And I schedule my next video. So I do videos every once in a while just about something that I write about. Like for instance, this next one that's coming up is going to be "Don't Blame God for Your Mistakes, Learn from Them."
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually one of the articles that I wrote for my website, and when people connect with it on the website, I just keep a video for them. So that's kind of my routine. I just kind of unwind, and if I feel to write a poem, I'll write a poem. But if I feel to write a column, I'll write a column. It just depends on what the mood is. And then I publish it on my website, and then I get ready for my video. So that's usually how it goes.
Honestly, that is kind of almost like my routine.
Yeah, so and honestly, it's been more to juggle, more to handle because, like you said, you're in college, so I just graduated in December, and most of y'all found that out at the end of my book. So once I graduated, I got a full-time job, and I'm still in the writing room as my career, so that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working, full-time, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. So I think my main struggle as a writer when I get home is just juggling and adjusting and just still being creative after being at work all day.
Mm-hmm.
So at times I have felt overwhelmed or discouraged or just like, oh my gosh, I need a break. But I mean, if you have enough passion for it, and if you're really organized, like I'm really organized, I write everything on calendars, everything in planners, reminders on my phone, then it'll be easy if you're organized.
Yes. That is exactly how I am. I love to just have everything in tuned and organized, especially with my books. Especially if I'm the type of writer, I like to write maybe 2 or 3 books at a time. I know that's a lot, but just how my mind works, I just love writing. So, just how my mind works, it just keeps on. So I always have ideas. So I have a schedule for each book. As soon as the alarm goes off on my phone, I'm done with book 1. Let's move on to this book, or let's do this cover, or let's do this logo, or this, that, and so when my day is busy, it's really busy. Or if I'm designing a package, I have several alarms on my phone. So whichever comes first, that's it. But when it's time for me to, finish that 15K or that 20K, I'm on it. I'll cancel everything that I might have for that day, and just get to writing. And that's it. Nice music or whatever. Mm-hmm. So my last points are, how has this experience really been for you? Did you really expect it to just blow up so quickly?
My experience has it's been about perseverance, which is funny, but honestly, it really has. With just me finishing up my track season last March, me graduating, I just recently got engaged. So all these different things that I had going on kind of outside of me writing honestly helped my experience. It gave me a lot of inspiration, and I didn't really have a lot of expectations going going into it. Now, I did originally get accepted or get responses from traditional publishers when I first submitted my manuscript. But I am a very independent and self-sufficient person. So, like I said, this is my testimony. This is my story that God gave me. It's my life. So, it's very close to my heart. And those traditional publishers that came to me, they would change, you know, it needs to be longer, it needs to be, you know, the cover can't be this, or the colors can't be this. They just have their own separate visions for my book. And they also, it took a little bit more royalties than I would want them to. But I also learned that, hey, you know, I'm a first-time author, and, you know, I published this book. I put a lot of time into it. So, you know, I know what I want. I know my vision for it. Maybe this next book I'll go traditional publishing route.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just see. So the experience has definitely taught me a lot about publishing a book, but I'm definitely ready for this next one.
I definitely can't wait for it because you are a great author. I'm going to say that one more time. Now,
Thank you very much.
no problem. Now, this is the time where you get to tell everyone where you can get your books if they're on any other sites other than Amazon, if they're in any bookstores, anything like that. You get to shout out to anybody who has helped you along the way. This is your time to do that.
Awesome! Yay! Woo woo! Okay, so so my book is available on Amazon. It is $13. It's eligible for Prime. If you do get a copy after this interview, please message me on Facebook, Instagram. You can go on my website. Just contact me somehow, some way. Please take a picture with the book and let me know what you think of it. I also have a website where I publish all my poetry and my articles. That is perceptionofplazz.com. On Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I am Perceptual Plazz, so you can type that in and find me on my social media outlet. And as far as giving shout-outs, there are so many people I could thank. Of course, you know, I really want to thank my fiance right now, of course, first, because he was there when I panicked and I cried and I was like so frustrated with the process. He was there to calm me down and get me back where I needed to be mentally for this book. My mom has always been super, super supportive of anything that makes me happy. So definitely a shout out to her. A lot of my schoolmates, you guys definitely cheered me on, and my teammates. So I'm sure I missed some people, but don't feel any way. You know who you are.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I definitely will be having you back on the show again. This was a great interview. Can't wait to do it again.
Well, yes, I'm excited. Just let me know when you have an opening.
I definitely will. You will be on the list. I'm Shy Soul. This is Perceptual Plazz. Get her book on Amazon. It is great. I will vouch for that entirely. I love you. She definitely loves you. Have a nice night. Bye.
Bye.
Only at JerdBeats.com.
Jerk Beats.
License this instrumental only at jerdbeats.com.
Hi guys, you thought I left? No, I didn't. This is the second book ad of the night. It is called Make It Rain by Nigel Spencer. The book is available on Amazon. This is the first book to the series. The second book will be coming out April 11th. Be sure to get that. Again, the book is called Make It Rain by Nigel Spencer. It is a very, very good book. It is number 59 on the bestsellers list, top 100 list, 5-star story. Get it. I'm telling you, this book is good. It will have you wanting to finish the book in one day. I'm telling you, I will never steer you guys wrong. Again, don't have me repeat it again for the ones who didn't hear it in the back. It is called Make It Rain by Nigel Spencer. Okay? Get that story. The story is bomb. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. Make It Rain. Get it. Second book coming out April 11th on Amazon. Bye, guys.